So I'm just going to delete these, we don't need them anymore. So in our last video, we had a look at just displaying an array of strings. We're now to have a look at how we display more complex data structures. So in this simple data JSON that we're going to call, you can see now we still have the array, but inside the array is an object. And this has more information about the event. So it has an ID, a title, and a date and time when the event is going to take place. So if we now just change this event names request to simple data, and if we run that, we'll notice that the app actually breaks. It's because here we're trying to display the item, but the item refers to a whole object of data. So the app doesn't know which bit of data it actually needs to show. What we can do to stop it breaking is so JSON.stringify, pass in the item. And here you can see everything that's sort of passed. So all this JSON stringify does, it turns the data from an object into a string, which we can then print out. So this is just how we kind of get a bit more, get the data appearing. But obviously that doesn't look terribly nice. Like in this example, we don't really need to show the ID. What we really need to show is just the title and maybe the date time of the event. So the way we access individual keys is quite simple. Instead of item, we just do item dot and then the key. So in this case, item dot title, and we get the titles of all the events. Item dot date time, and we get the times of all the events. So this just means that we can show more data about our event. We no longer need this JSON stringify because the data we're showing is a string already. If we just put that in a containing div, we can just change that. So now we've got item.name and item.datetime, which if we refresh, let me just see why this isn't working. Because it's not item.name, is it? It's item.title. So now we've got the title of the event and then the date time. We could just make that in a slightly nicer format as well by just do new date. And this converts it from a string into a JavaScript date time. Okay, let's just get the date. In fact, if we just do locale, that should work, and that gives us a nice formatted date. There are things you could do to change this, so have a 2-year date rather than 4-year for like 4-digit date, or whether you're showing like 24-hour or 12-hour clock format. Again, I encourage you to have a look at the documentation for JavaScript date to locale string, and just see what you can kind of change with that. So that's showing us kind of how we sort of build on the array of strings to display data that's in an array of objects.